Disclaimer. This video speedrunning guide assumes that you already know the basics of Deltarune speedrunning, like how movement and battles work. If you're interested in learning about these mechanics, please check out Ashmikda's Chapter 1 speedrunning guide or the Chapter 1 speedrunning guide on speedrun.com. Both of these will be linked in the description. In my opinion, Chapter 3 Any% is a good category for people who already have the basics of Deltarune speedrunning down and are looking for something a little out of the ordinary. Currently, Chapter 3 Any% does not utilize many glitches even in high-level runs, so it's also quite an accessible category for beginners, though this category is very new, so this is subject to change. Timing for this category starts as soon as you hit yes on a fresh save, and the coloring of the yes text starts to change. It is all but entirely necessary to have completion data for Chapter 3 before you start the run, so you can perform what is known in Chapters 1 and 2 as bed skip. Even though Chapter 3's bed skip is not performed on Chris's actual bed, it's still referred to as bed skip just because it's easier for speedrunners to remember. When you first start the run, you'll be greeted with a short cutscene with Susie. Once this cutscene is over, interact with the shining object in the couch, and choose the left option to skip all the way to the first Zelda minigame. The route for the first Zelda is quite straightforward. As soon as you get into the Zelda minigame, mash Z and enter to skip through the press any button screen. Then work your way downwards to the hole. Once you jump through the hole, you'll be placed in the first real Zelda board. Our goal is to collect 3 keys and the Moon Cloud Stone. Start by going straight downwards into the room with the Oasis. Normally you're supposed to find Lancer and have him clog the Oasis, but you can actually just drink from the Oasis 9 times, which drains it and begins Elnina and Lanino's battle. The strategy for this fight is simple. Use I Love TV X for 1 turn, and then defend until the Choicer appears. Choose left on the Choicer just because it makes you based, it's not any faster, and then continue defending until the battle is over. If you do not get hit, it's highly likely that you get an S or a T rank at the end of Board 1. This is helpful because you can get a pink ribbon from Ram, which makes the Tenna fight easier. After they're defeated, you'll receive the Moon Cloud Stone. Mash the ranking text away and continue to the left. For the Shadow Guy battle, you'll want to defend with Chris, use S action with Susie, and pacify with Ralsei. You're going to want to do this for each Shadow Guy to end the battle in 2 turns. Mash the text away and continue upwards into the room with Lancer. Interact with the cactus to knock him off and gain him as one of your items. Go down 1 screen and left 1 screen to get to the room with the Lancer key. Continue walking left until the cutscene plays. Once it's finished, grab the Lancer key and go right for 1 screen and down for 1 screen. Once you're in the room with the block puzzle, just push the box around the ring onto the switch and go down for 1 screen and right for 1 screen. On the screen with the cactus key, it's faster to take the higher path than the lower path. Interact with the cactus to gain the cactus key. Then head left for 1 screen, up for 2 screens, right for 1 screen, and up for 2 screens. Enter the shop and interact with the key on the left to buy the shop key. You've now finished everything you need to do in the desert board. Interact with the door to go through it. Head up until you reach the next door, interact with it, choose the left choicer, and get ready for, unironically, one of the hardest parts of the run. The cooking show segment at the end of Board 1 is legitimately one of the hardest parts of the run. In order to do this section as quickly as possible, you're going to want to stack as many food items as you can on your head and dump them onto the special guests when they appear on screen. You're going to want to stack at least 8 before you dump. Avoid the fire on the ground, as this will cause you to lose all the items on your head and some points. Keep in mind that the more food items you have on your head, the slower you move, the longer it takes to jump, and the shorter your jump height becomes. After the cutscene with Tenna, you'll be put back in the green room. If you get an S or T rank on Board 1, you can talk to Ram to get a pink ribbon. The pink ribbon increases your grazing distance, which makes grazing easier. But acquiring and equipping this item loses about 6 seconds, so take that into consideration. Talk to Lancer to head to the room on the left. In this room, it is possible to do an interact slide with the door and skip the cutscene that happens here. This is relatively difficult to pull off, but saves the 15 seconds of the cutscene. If you don't want to go for it, just hold right for every choicer in the cutscene, including after you interact with the door to enter Board 2. After the cutscene with Tenna, you will be sent to Board 2. Head into the room with the camera over it, head up for one screen, and interact with the camera to acquire it as one of your items. You will use this camera to take pictures of 3 special objects. Head back down out of the shrine and head directly to the left. Then head one screen down and take a picture of the cactus that's hidden among the palm trees. Head back up and right into the original room, and then go right into the room with the planks. Ride the plank directly downwards onto the dock. Take a picture of the mini camera to unlock the way, and then head down into the next room. Wait for Susie to solve the puzzle, and then head right into the next room. In the next room, where Tenna leaves the party, just head upwards into the room with the plank puzzle. Wait for Susie to switch Chris's controller with hers, and then solve the puzzle. The fastest way to solve it is as follows. After you've solved the puzzle, wait for Susie, who looks like Chris, to leave the room. Wait for Susie to walk into the shop and then buy the ribbon. As far as I know, both of these items are equally as fast, so pick whichever one you want. But really pick the ribbon, because it's just better, I don't make the rules. After you leave the shop, head to the right and prepare for the battle with the Pippins. The strategy for this fight is to spare with Chris, do S action with Susie, and do R action with Rouse. Do this for all 3 Pippins to end the fight in 3 turns. A short cutscene will play where Susie switches her controller with Rouse's. Towards the end of this cutscene, you will be presented with a choicer. It is vastly faster to pick the right option, so make sure you pick the let's go back to normal option. Go up out of the room and right into the room with the blue flowers. Take a picture of the yellow flower in this room and exit to the left and go up. Wait for Susie to solve the puzzle and then go into the cave. Step on the button at the end of this room to spawn some bombs. After Susie blows them up, head down into the next room and get your camera out. You're gonna try to take a picture of the antlion with red horns. After you take it, head back up into the first room, head left, go up the stairs, head left across the bridge, go down for a screen, and go back into the shrine. Head into the room on the right and jump on the raft. Ride the raft to the left and up onto the dock. Once you're in the Shuttle room, go up the stairs and head to the right. Interact with what is hopefully Lenino, but could be Elnina, to gain them as one of your items, and then head back into the Shuttle room. Once the door closes, take a picture of Susie, Chris, and Rouse together. This will trigger the fight with Shuttle. The strategy for this fight is to use Spare with all 3 party members for 3 turns, then use Spare with Chris and Susie, and defend with Rouse. After the fight is over, head back onto the raft and go up. Dock at the nearest dock, and go right and up. After the cutscene with the Weather Duo, head up to trigger the next cutscene with the Weather Duo and rules. Once you gain movement, head up onto the Rainbow Bridge and hit the Blue Pyramid. For Lightner's Live, literally just play well. There are 2 choices here. Hit whatever you want for the first one, and right for the second one. Rock out. Board 3 is kind of notorious for being an auto-scroller. There's not too much to talk about once you get to the actual board itself. After you finish with Board 2, head over to the zapper guarding the taped-up door. Hit the right option. Once you regain movement after being teleported, head back up into the green room, and do the same thing again. This time, the zapper will let you pass. Head through the door. Keep heading right through the empty doorway. Then when you get to the door with the code is 213. Keep walking to the right. When you're presented with a choicer during the cutscene, choose the up option, then continue to the right. The code for the next door is 1225. Keep walking into the snow room until the cutscene plays. This cutscene will be long and will take you all the way into Board 3 and continue onwards until you get to the first quiz. For all of the quizzes, just spam to confirm your answer. All of the answers on the board will always be correct, so you can just spam. Spam in the battle with just Tenna as well, as all you need to do is hit the 1 act. For the cooking challenge with the pipes, just don't get hit. There's no way to speed it up or slow it down, so just wait for it to be over. In the battle with Tenna and the Shadow Guy, use the Sharpshooter act to shoot Tenna's head. This will cause the next enemy to be a zapper, which is necessary to finish this part. For the Lightner's Live challenge, just hit the one note that appears on screen. In the battle with Tenna and the zapper, use the volume up act to increase your TP gained. This is important because we need to be at 100% TP to use the off button act. Try to graze to 100% on the first attack so you don't have to do multiple turns. Once you have enough TP, use the off button act, wait for the cutscene to end, and then walk right into TV World. TV World is probably the most complicated part of the run, so listen up. Keep walking right until you reach the curtain. This will start the shooting minigame. Just shoot the shadow guys until the timer runs out, and then keep walking right. The next room will have a shadow guy to avoid. Just wait until it passes, and then continue walking down and to the right. In the next room, there will be a quiz. The answers are always B, which is the right option, then A, which is the left option. After you complete the quiz, continue through the room. Watch the cutscene, and then continue on. In the next room with the houses, we will want to avoid the shadow guys. You can see where they're going to land because they'll have small shadows on the ground. Avoid them as best you can, but if you miss, just use the same strats as before to spare them. Continue into the next room. In the stealth zone room, walk along the top wall to avoid being seen by the spotlights. Interact with the trash can to open the door, and then go through it. This next room has one of the few proper encounter skips in Chapter 3. This one is called many names like Vibic or less than symbol Ibic, but I call it Pythagoribic. This trick requires really precise movement though, and really you can just walk around the trash can like this. In the next room, walk along the wall and don't get hit by the spotlights. If you don't lose speed in this room, you can actually do it without stopping. Continue to the next room. Take the path as shown and continue on. Do the shooting minigame just like the other one. Take this path in the shadow guy room. Walk right until you trigger the cutscene. After the cutscene is over, keep walking right until you get to the room with the red carpet. Take this route to avoid a zapper encounter. Take this route to avoid any quizzes. In the spotlight section, it's possible to do 2 sets of spotlights in one fell swoop if you time it right. The rules fight is also relatively difficult, but the first few turns are very simple. Just spam the act button on the first turn and the second turn. On the third turn, you're gonna need to hit the Lancer button. Across 2 turns, you only need to hit 5 out of the 6 Lancers, so once you hit the 5th Lancer, you can just mash. Once you get to the cat shadow guys, get hit by the yarn until Ralsei turns into a ball of yarn. This will change the cat shadow guys into Elnina and Lenino. During Elnina and Lenino's turns, you still need to hit the Lancer button, but this time they fall from the top as opposed to coming in from the side. You still only need to hit 5 out of 6 across 3 turns. Be careful to avoid the rules buttons, as those count as misses even if they just touch you. After the fight with rules is over, head to the right into the room with the piles of fluff. Walk behind the walls of fluff. You do not need to interact with them. Once you get to the fluff that's in front of all the enemies, interact with it to hide behind it and wait for the cutscene to finish. Once the cutscene is finished, continue walking down and interact with the next fluff. Wait for that cutscene to end, and then head up. Make your way upwards into the green room and then back into the taped up door. The code for the next door is 000000, so just spam until the text is gone. Heal at the save point if you need to, and then walk over to the right to begin the cutscene with Tenna. After the cutscene, Tenna's battle will begin. The strategy for this fight is easy. Use I Love TV with Chris, S action with Susie, and R action with Ralsei on literally every turn until the fight is over. On the second attack with the lightning bolts, purposefully get hit, because if you no-hit that attack, it gives you a significantly harder version, which may cause you to die and lose the run. Eventually you will reach the minigame section, after which you can shoot Tenna with the hearts. Keep shooting him until the battle is over. We're almost there. After Tenna is killed by the knight, you will enter a fight with them. Now while the knight is a very difficult fight, you're actually totally in the clear, because you're supposed to die to them as quickly as possible. After you die, be sure to hit the right option so that you don't challenge them again. Another big cutscene will play with Undyne, after which you will need to run to the right. Once you get to Susie, the run is basically over. Wait for the cutscene to end, and timing ends as soon as the game cuts to black to start the credits. I hope this guide can provide some insight into the main parts of Chapter 3 Any% speedrunning. There's some more advanced strats that I didn't cover, but if you're interested in learning about those, feel free to join the Fast Little Boys Deltarune Speedrunning Discord server. Good luck on your runs, and go fast.